Them gloves, you felt them. Them gloves, when you put the wraps on underneath, when I'm warming up the fighters, Ryan, Rammers, Jordan, when I'm warming them up backstage and they're hitting the pads, I'm thinking, oh, yeah, someone's in trouble. But then I remember the opponent's got the same gloves on, and you think, bro, I think, bro, shit, you know what I mean? It's a dangerous game. So them little subtle differences can make all the difference.
All right, one of the fan questions this week were Joshua versus Fury, and how a little preview into that. So, you want to go first or I go first?
Well, you know my opinion
All
already.
Right. For me, Joshua Fury, I think obviously most people are going to go with Fury outboxes Joshua. A lot of people now, after seeing the Wilder fight, think Fury will stop Joshua. Me personally, I think that's a tough ask. Of course, we've seen Joshua get hit, we've seen him dropped, etc. But I still think it's not so easy to go and hit him. Even the Ruiz knockout, he had knocked the guy down. He was going reckless, and then that's how he got dropped. Same thing with Klitschko. He had hurt the guy. He was going for the stoppage. That's when he got hurt. Dillian White, same thing again. He was hurting the guy, walking him down. He got careless, and then he got hurt. If you're just standing across the ring from Joshua, you've just started the fight, it's not easy to hit him.
Yeah.
You can land a few blows, don't get me wrong, but usually when he's set and he's balanced, it's hard to hurt him. And he's an Olympic gold medalist for a reason. He goes through guys like Povetkin and the other names easily for a reason, and he has pedigree. His resume shows what it is for a reason. So I think people just think Fury is going to go in there's going to have his way, hands behind his back, doing cartwheels, whatever people think is going to do. It won't be that easy. Joshua's going to get to him. And I've said this to you many times. Fury knows Joshua is his biggest obstacle. Yeah. From early, everything Joshua done is going to lose to Charles Martin. Do you know how mad it is to say that? You know how mad it is to say he's going to lose to Charles Martin?
He tried to discredit him as much as possible.
Yeah, exactly. Wilder, he always lifted Wilder up. Always said Wilder this, Wilder that. He was like 3 stone out of weight, and he thought, you know what, let me just fight that guy. Do you know how mad that is? Do you know how...
So you saying he wouldn't have took the AJ fight? You're saying he wouldn't have took the AJ fight under the same circumstances?
I don't think so, no.
No? Okay.
I think he saw... For someone, if you're Fury and you're thinking, all I got to do is avoid that right hand, that is the easiest job in the world, isn't it?
No.
As in for him.
I understand your point.
From his perspective, obviously you get hit by the right hand, we saw what happened to him. But he was just thinking, from a pure boxing point of view, all I have to do against that guy is avoid the right hand.
I understand your point and where you're coming from in terms of you don't go out to stop AJ, because AJ is a tough brother like that. You're not going to stop him, and you're not going to be able to get on top of him and bully him the way that Fury done Wilder. Yeah. I'll accept that. If the stoppage was to come, I would feel like it would be on AJ's. For me, I feel like he doesn't deal with the rounds well. I feel like he's not a boxing man. He's obviously you've seen the way he's built. He's in there to get people out of it. I feel like as the later rounds come on, he's not designed. He's not built to box for 12 rounds. He goes in there and he goes through people, and I feel like he gets the job done when he puts his head down and says, you know what, let's go to war now. And I feel like it will be a silly game plan from Fury to go out there with the intention of thinking that he's going to stop him. I think all he has to do is focus on the boxing side of things, and I feel like if the stoppage would come, again, it will be through AJ fatiguing rather than Fury just overwhelming him and beating him up. But I do think the stoppage is there.
What do you think? Like the Chisora fight, the second one, where Fury was just peppering him, just pure jabs.
It's one-sided. Yeah. It's disheartening for a fighter.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be one-sided though. I just don't think it'll be one-sided. I think Joshua maybe not win some rounds, but every round Fury has to win. He's gonna have to work for it.
I'm gonna try. I'm trying to be professional right now.
Nah, say what you say. You're
not making it easy. You know me. Fury peppers him.
Easy.
Fury peppers him, and I feel like AJ. The fact that he's had everything his own way, the fact that everything's been set out for him, you know what I mean? He's always been a home fighter. He's always been on he's back guard, and everything's built up for him. I feel like it's gonna be disheartening when he's in there with a fighter, 4, 5, 6, 7 rounds are going by, and this guy's getting his shots off at will. This guy's jabbing, right hand, touching the body, touching the head. He's going to work at will, and I feel like, not saying that it's gonna be one-sided, but it's gonna be in Fury's favor if AJ tries to make it a boxing match. Do you think? Let me ask you: if you was AJ's team, AJ's corner, what would be the game plan? How would you set out for that fight?
I think Fury would win, innit? So that's a tough question.
Yeah. Okay, but still, if they asked you to be the strategist for that fight, make up a game plan for AJ to go into the ring against Fury. How do you take on that fight? What's the game plan?
That's a tough question. I can't lie.
It's a tough one.
You have to be on the front foot. You tuck up well. You match his jab every time, and you work the body.
So patient boxing. Take your time, or steam into him, steamroll him, go through him.
Pick your moments, innit? When you think that's available, you go for it. But generally, keep it long. Yeah. And then try to work your way inside.
Yeah, no, I like that. I can see that working for AJ. Like you said, obviously, pick the right moments. Because at the end of the day, if you try and steam into him, that plays into Fury's hands because he's a top level boxer. Yeah. But if you are patient, try and jab with him, keep it long, keep the 1-2s flowing. And obviously, if you do land something, then obviously put a bit of pressure on and try and get on the inside.
And one thing I'll say as well, it's like with Fury versus Wilder, when Fury was coming in, the one double jab, right hand, left hooks, whatever, he can't do that against Joshua. Because Fury can't throw punches properly. Joshua's technique so much crisper that as soon as they try to exchange, there's only really going to be one winner, innit?
Disagree.
When they try to exchange,
disagree.
Have you seen listen? Fury throws right hands like Wilder on the inside.
From what? 100%.
Terrible technique.
But the difference for me is Fury has the know-how. He has the ability to know when to throw it, even though it's silly and it's sloppy. Even though the technique ain't, it's not crispy, it's not boom. He just turns it straight from the shoulder. It's not a direct shot. It still comes kind of looping, like you said, similar to Fury, similar to Wilder. But he's got that boxing brain that he won't throw that if he knows he's not capable of landing.
I just don't see any opportunities in a fight against Joshua where he could do that.
What, the big right hands?
The looping ones?
Yeah.
The ones on the inside when they come close.
The flappy glove ones.
Okay, the flappy glove ones, I'm talking about inside when they're actually trying to hurt someone. I think for Fury in that fight, don't go on the inside.
Yeah, I don't think he needs to box on the inside. He don't need to box on the inside. I think you can pepper him at will, and then like we said, like you just said about AJ's game plan, picking your moments. I feel like that would be the same as Fury.
Again, when you say pepper him at will, what I picture at the Chisora fight is constant work rate, innit? I don't think he could do that against Joshua. It'd have to be pick your moment, step off, reset. 100%. Joshua's got heavy feet, make him reset, and then go again. No one just be like bang, bang, bang.
Chisora's obviously a lot more flat-footed and a lot more easier to hit. So you ain't got to be strategic. All you got to do is let the left hand fly and let the right hand come behind it. I agree that he has got to be a lot more strategic against AJ, but I feel like once he gets into a rhythm, I feel like if he does get into that rhythm and gets confident, I feel like AJ gets disheartened. AJ's timing and everything falls off a little bit, and it allows Fury to get his shots off better.
I can see that, but it's not on a like peppering level of like just a beat down, innit?
So you're saying it's not going to be one-sided?
So it's not going to be a beat down at all.
It'll be a points decision. You think Fury wins the fight?
I think someone's getting knocked out.
Knocked out, yeah?
Probably.
That's a it's a big statement, but it's heavyweight boxing, isn't it?
If you watch Fury versus Klitschko back, you seen that last round, Fury was very tired. He got hit with a couple right hands as well.
Fury versus
Klitschko. He was tired.
Yeah.
Fury obviously has got better stamina than AJ, but I don't think his stamina is great either. Even the Wilder fight, he gets dropped in the last round because of the rounds, isn't it? Not just that Wilder was. Okay. It's because of the rounds as well. So I think both of them.
So do you think given how many times Fury's been knocked down, do you think his punch resistance could be an issue?
I saw him take 2 stiff right hands off Wilder early in the second fight. So I'm not sure. But again, with punch resistance, it's a lot of your balance and your mentality. If you're relaxed and you're just not really expecting anything to come back, which he could be if what you're saying is true, he's just winning a wide points decision against AJ. He's having fun. He's touching his gloves. Touching gloves on foot, whatever he's doing. And then he gets sloppy. He can get caught. I remember even Joshua put out a little chart of who's knocked down Joshua and hurt him, and he's knocked down Fury, and he's bringing, what's that guy? That journeyman that beat Wilder, Fury early in his career.
He didn't beat Fury.
Yeah, but we know
John
he beat Fury. John McDermott.
John McDermott's a serious don, bruv.
Sorry. Sorry, boy.
Nah, listen. I was in the gym with Jim McDonald. Jim McDonald trained him for the second fight. I don't think he trained him for the first fight, but John McDermott, I'll admit, John McDermott won the first fight. Yeah. John McDermott won the first fight. Jim McDonald trained him for the second fight, but there was a lot of politics in the behind the scenes in terms of the gloves. John McDermott got BBEs, had to wear BBEs, and Tyson Fury was allowed to wear cleat or rears. And Jim McDonald said at backstage, while they was trying to demonstrate that basically it's a liberty, he said they dropped the BBEs on the floor and they bounced back up. They dropped the cleat or rears and they just doof. You heard the noise. That's the impact man's taking on his chin. But like you said about punch resistance, for me, AJ, Anthony Joshua, he's good at what he does in the way that he boxes. But for me, he's another one of these boxers that have come through the GB ranking at that certain time where they box a certain way. For me, the punch resistance is poor. I feel like, going back to the stoppage, I feel like in the later rounds, if he gets tired, he don't know how to coast rounds. He don't know how to sit on the inside and ride shots. That's an art in itself, to take the sting out of someone's punches without moving your legs. Because let's use Amir Khan as an example. For me, when he boxes at range, 1, 2, he's untouchable. But it's very hard for any person to do that for 12 rounds. Now, there's going to come a point in a fight where you've got to sit down, sit in the middle, take the sting out of the opponent's punches. And Amir Khan couldn't do that. And I feel like AJ is a very similar example in the sense that when he's boxing at range against Ruiz in the second fight, when he's allowed to have everything his own way in terms of the range, he's comfortable. When he's on the inside, he's a bully. He goes through people. But if he's tired and he needs to soak up a few rounds, I feel like that affects his punch resistance in the way that he boxes. He don't really know how to sit there and soak up another man's punches, take the sting out of a man's punches and counter him or whatever on the inside. And I feel like that plays into Fury's hands.
Again, it's the small things, isn't it? Like bending your knees when you're on the inside, getting your balance, setting yourself, not squaring up on the ropes, and all those little things, they affect how well you take a punch when you ride it and you see it coming. It's like Canelo and Golovkin. When you watch the highlights of the fights and you see the biggest punches landed, every single time someone's just turning their face, innit? So they get hit perfectly, perfectly as they're turning their head, innit?
It's minimal movement, but you know that makes all the difference compared to being upright, chin in the air, neck up straight, shoulders up straight. That little difference in your movement in terms of taking a shot. It's
like Ryan Garcia, every time I see him on that reflex ball, whatever it's called, that Cobra bag, or the... I can't remember what it's called. Every time I'm seeing him, he's closing his eyes and he's going like this.
Chin up in the air.
I think I could hit him. It's so long. If you hit him in that moment, even some of his knockouts, you see it. It's a recent one with the left hook. His chin's all the way up in the air and his eyes are closed. If someone throws at the same time as you, it ain't even got to be a hard punch.
Yeah.
But if your eyes are closed, your chin's up in the air, your legs are not balanced, you're throwing a punch.
Don't matter.
Don't matter. You're Golovkin. You can be anyone you want to be. You're gonna get hurt.
People talk about glass doors and things like that, and whether that's a thing or not. Like you said, if that's your stance and that's the way you're set out, then you ain't gonna take that punch properly. You're gonna end up in a bad way.
And that's why people don't see the sweet science of boxing. There's one video on Golovkin, right, where they show his stance and a breakdown of his whole thing. Yeah, it's the way his shoulders, they're always level. Yeah. Every time he steps, his shoulders are level. His feet perfectly planted. Yeah. Every time he jabs, it's from the bottom of his feet, everything. Every single jab is exactly the same stance, everything, innit? So his shoulders are always level, his feet are always in the right stance, and he's always got his knees tucked. So if you're on that stance and you take a punch, even if you've got a so-called glass chin, you're gonna ride that punch well.
You're ready to take that punch, 100%. 100%. And I feel like fighters like Golovkin, I feel like, obviously you look at the likes of Mayweather, they make boxing look easy because they do everything right in and that. Golovkin, easy in wars. But like you said, them little fundamentals that his trainer and obviously himself have put into place have allowed him to progress as far as he has done with the style of boxing that he has. He's going to get hit. I know the boxing, the sweet science is hit and don't be hit. But Golovkin ain't in there for that. He knows he's going to get hit, but he feels that if I hit you enough times, it don't matter how many times you hit me, you're going down, innit? And like you said, because of the way he sets himself out. And I feel like that's a problem for a lot of, like I said earlier, I feel like there's an era of GB boxers. For me, it's between 2004, maybe 2000 to 2012. They changed it from 3-minute rounds to 4-2s at one point. And I feel like the whole thing was in and out, footwork, work rate, in and out, boxing, bouncing, moving, punching. And I feel like the GB amateur boxing went up to a higher level through that, in the amateur boxing level. They do it in the Olympics and all these international competitions. But I feel like the fighters that turned pro lacked a certain fundamental. Again, going back to Amir Khan, going back to AJ, even going back to Uli Harrison from 2000s. I feel like a lot of them do lack that fundamental in terms of being in the center of the ring, being able to ride punches, being able to take this thing out of the punches. And I feel like that's a major fundamental that you need in a pro game.
I feel like the Cubans, they've always dominated amateur boxing. Every time they turn pro, you can see the talent, you can see they've got the ability. But it's like every single one of them, they cross their feet.
Yeah.
They always make small fundamental mistakes where it's like, okay, in the amateurs you can get away with it. Over 3
100%.
rounds, you're fresh. Like, obviously it's harder to get stoppage in the first 3 rounds, isn't it?
Yeah.
Once you're going 12 rounds and you're having to work with someone and you're making all those little mistakes and you're getting tired, I think that's where you see the little difference.
100%. And it looks world class in the amateurs. These are the things that people love the Cubans for, because it's stylish and it's easy to do over 3-3s or 4-2s, whatever you're doing. Usyk, Gamboa.
Yeah.
These man there, for me, Gamboa was a big fan of Gamboa growing up. And but yeah, when you get into 12-3s, 36 minutes of fighting, it's a different ball game. One little simple mistake like that, like we was talking about Badu Jack and James DeGale earlier, and I said that I felt like he squared up his feet, DeGale, in the last round, got dropped, and the fight was a draw. One simple little mistake like that can cost you a fight. That was for all the, was that light heavyweight world titles, or no, that was super middle, super middleweight world titles, unification fight. Such a simple thing that in the amateurs over 3-3s you get away with, but in a pro game, different ball game.
Gamboa is a good one as well, because this guy, he's not a switch hitter, but he switches his feet every round.
Yeah.
By accident.
Yeah. He
he doesn't know what he's doing, and when he does switch and he gets caught, every single time he's down. And people say he's got a glass jaw, but most of the times when he gets dropped, he's not actually that hurt.
Yeah.
It's literally just a balance thing, isn't it? Just simple balance. But what makes it even worse is sometimes when your balance is off and you get hit, that makes you hurt.
Yeah.
So he's thinking, it's just a balance thing. I've just gone down. Then he gets up and his legs aren't really there.
They're not there.
Because of the balance,
Of
isn't it?
course.
Because when you get caught in that awkward position, it's curtains, isn't it?
Going back to what you said about the shoulders, about Golovkin and things like that, little subtle differences that makes you... At the end of the day, no human is made to get punched in the chin with 8-ounce gloves. Them gloves, you felt them. Them gloves, when you put the wraps on underneath, when I'm warming up the fighters, Ryan, Ramirez, Jordan... When I'm warming them up backstage and they're hitting the pads, I'm thinking, oh, yeah, someone's in trouble. But then I remember the opponent's got the same gloves on, and you think, bro, I think, bro, shit, you know what I mean? It's a dangerous game. So them little subtle differences can make all the difference. You're not made to get punched in the face with 8-ounce gloves. So if you're not trained properly in terms of taking them punches,
it's mad because you see the 16 ounces when you spar with them, you're thinking, I could take 50 punches like this
all day long.
As soon as you put the 8-ounce gloves in, you think you ain't got nothing in your hands.
Yeah. But I see fighters punching walls.
Yeah.
To just get themselves ready. They're punching walls and they don't feel nothing on their glove because of the padding on the glove. Solid. They're punching walls happily. And they're about to go out and put that on man's...
put that on someone's head, innit?
You don't need that in your life, bro.
Crazy. Two fighters that do have good chins will be Crawford and Porter. Porter has been listed as the number 1 for the WBO title. How did you see a fight between those two going?
That's a very good fight because obviously Crawford and Spence is the fight that everyone wants to see. And obviously, given the fact what Porter done to Spence in the last fight that they had, I feel like it's a very good opportunity.
Isn't it?
Yeah. First of all, for Spence to obviously, Crawford to show where he's at. Because if he goes out there and deals with Porter comfortably, it's a statement. Personally, I think he deals with him a lot better than Spence.
Personally, I think it stops him.
Yeah?
Yeah. Late stoppage.
He could
You
do.
can imagine, Spence isn't a counter puncher.
Yeah.
Maybe he will counter to the body. Porter on the inside, every single time, yeah? I remember I was talking to my brother as well. He thought Porter had a good chance. And I told him, Porter's getting dropped by a left hand. In the inside. Even the Furman highlights, you watch it, so many times on the inside, his right hand drops, he gets caught with a left hook. Someone like Crawford, who studies the game, studies the point, and they dissect it. They'll know that. They'll be waiting for it every time.
And they're clinical.
Yeah, and he's the type to be spiteful, where early on, every time on the inside trading, left to the body. Left to the body. Let him drop his hand further down. And then when it gets late, you clip him, innit?
Yeah. Crawford's a different animal.
The way Porter fights, he wants to get the inside and he wants to trade. Crawford is like Moeva, he's comfortable. You want to come in and give me the counter shot opportunity. I'm going to take it every time.
Yeah. Late stoppage. I'm gonna hold you to that statement that you made.
We know the fight's never gonna happen, innit?
You don't think it'll happen?
PBC, top rank. I don't see. I think they only work with each other once it's the Crawford Spence fight where everything's on the line. Then do it.
It'll be.
I want to see that fight. Don't get me wrong.
It'll be a great fight. It'll be a great fight because Porter deserves it as well. Given the performance he put in against Spence, he deserves a fight like that. But yeah, I would love to see that as well because that is a perfect build up to the Crawford Spence fight. But yeah, if you was to stop him, boy.
Big set, man.
Yeah, if you were Spence, would you want to go near him after? Spence enjoys his life as well. He's a party
Yeah.
boy, isn't it? He's a party boy. I feel like Crawford, that camp, Crawford, Shakur Stevenson, is it?
Yeah.
Who else?
They got Ward as the like manager kind of guy.
Yeah, them. I feel like them man take their boxing very seriously. I'm not saying Spence doesn't, but I feel like obviously you know about the car
He
crash.
didn't. Apparently after the car crash, he was saying no. After the Crawford Porter fight, he was saying that because of him cutting weight and blowing up and drinking and all sorts, that it taught him, okay, I could feel the effect on my body.
Yeah, so now he needs to start taking it serious.
Yeah.
But still, even then, at that stage in your life, to make that conscious decision,
Yeah.
it's not the same as somebody like Crawford that has
done it all the time.
yeah,
innit? Every
lived that
single-
life from get go. So
Especially after he says it, he goes and gets in a car crash at 120 miles per hour drunk, innit? So depends how much you can take from it, innit? But maybe at least watching his weight will be a big difference, innit? Because we know how much he likes to cut.
I'm still Team Crawford.
Another possibility is Crawford versus Brook. At this stage in Brook's career, I don't care, innit? Like, I was a big Brook fan.
He's a big Brook fan?
Yeah, he was a party guy.
Based on what?
Huh?
Based on what?
Why you putting him on the spot?
Come on.
I like his style.
I don't like Brook.
You never liked him?
Nah.
The voice?
Nah.
Chocolate
everything.
brownies, you know?
bro. Kell Brook, sorry, my brother. I don't know if you might ever watch this or see this. No offense whatsoever, but yeah, overhyped, overrated, well managed, well promoted.
I think back in his prime, just before the Golovkin fight, I think he would have beat Furman. Even the Spence fight, obviously.
Maybe. But for me, the Porter fight. For me, he lost the Porter fight.
Yeah.
For me, he lost the Porter fight. I watched that live in America as the away fighter, as the challenger. Porter was the champion.
I think that says it all, though. You went to America, you're the away fighter.
Nah, Eddie Hearn's pockets, man. Eddie Hearn,
so?
yeah, 100%.
Over Al Heyman and the Al
Eddie,
Heyman's pockets run deep, bro. And you got to remember that was when Eddie was still
coming
building,
up.
innit?
Yeah,
Still
that was
building.
not long after the Kell Brook, Amir Khan, Lamont Peterson fight.
Yeah.
And the IBF obviously give the fight to Lamont Peterson. So there was a lot of the people was talking about IBF was favouring the home fighters, this and that.
Saying that the UK commentators had Brook losing.
I had Brook losing. Brook showed tremendous heart. Tremendous heart, my brother. I take my hat off for that. Yeah, the boxing ability for me it's not world class, but the heart and the chin and the power, that was world class, and that's what kept you in that level for me. But I just felt like, I don't know, for me there was something missing, man. I don't know. I thought he's a very good fighter. I could say great. Nah, I won't say great fighter. Very, very good fighter. Great British fighter. Done us proud, going over shores and doing all that. But yeah, I just don't think he was that. I think the only reason he ever got up there was, again, great promoting, great management, and obviously had the matchroom team behind him.
Yeah, I think him against Crawford, I think a couple rounds will be interesting, but afterwards Crawford will take over.
Smokes him.
But one thing about Crawford as well, it's not that he gets reckless and lazy. It's like once he knows he has the fight done, he won't take everything into consideration. That's like the Amir Khan fight, like the last round, they were sort of trading, innit?
Yeah.
And where he makes it a bit close.
But does Brook have the power to change that fight in one punch? You know what I mean?
I don't think so.
Because Crawford might get, I know what you're saying, Crawford basically might switch off and get caught by one punch. But I don't think Brook has that power to actually put him out with that one. He might have the power to wake him up. But then I think all of a sudden Crawford gets back to his boxing. I think Crawford schools him. That's a fight. To be honest, I wouldn't even want to see.
If I heard it announced, it wouldn't excite me. You know it's only going one way.
Brook, obviously, the Golovkin and the Errol Spence fights, he cashed in, he got paid, he dared to be great, which at the end of the day, you got to salute, you know what I mean? That's what we're in this sport for, and if you're not taking and risking life, what you doing, you're sleeping, you know what I mean? So,
to be fair, he had an offer to fight Jesse Vargas in a unification, and he said no, because of the money. So I think that's one of the dumbest choices ever. Because you got to think about investment, innit? Jesse Vargas ain't really nothing.
And then after that, obviously
you
would have had to take on any welterweight with all the titles on the line. It's a big
even just for your personal legacy, innit?
You're a fool for that. Should have took Jesse Vargas fight, but he didn't. We moved.
I thought you was being nice to him.
Yeah, I was trying
to. Daniel Dubois fought last weekend. I'm gonna put it like this, yeah. My little brother was like, "Oh, there's boxing on, innit?" I was like, "Oh yeah." I was getting excited, and I remember he was fighting. I was like, "Nah, I'm not watching it." He's like, "It's Dubois, innit?" I was like, "Why do I not watch him beat someone up for 2 rounds?" And he knocked the guy out in the second round. I thought the Joyce fight was meant to happen like 6 months ago. I don't know when, innit? They're meant to be next or whatever. But when these guys are just fighting any next random brothers, I can't get excited for it. Did you watch the fight?
No, I ain't seen it.
You even know this fight? I didn't even know either, bro.
You know me, cause I'm like a casual. I'm like a armchair fan. I don't only watch the big fights.
He knocked the guy on 2 rounds. I think it was a replacement opponent, to be fair.
Yeah.
But
yeah, cause he was meant to have the German brother.
Yeah. But yeah, regardless, he fought the guy. He knocked him out in 2 rounds. And somehow, from that fight that no one in boxing wanted to watch, he's now ranked 2nd in the WBO, the rankings.
Yeah, above Tyson Fury, above...
Fury's got the other belt, so he's not ranked. But above Wilder...
Above everybody, basically.
Yeah, above everybody, apart from Usyk.
We know Frank Warren's always been in tight with the WBO, innit? He's got them patterned up nicely.
But actually, first I'll say, how highly do you rate Dubois? Not just his potential, but how good he is right now.
Right now, that's a tough one. Because like you said, if he's banging people out in 2 rounds, we don't actually know. And he's banging people out that ain't on his level. But it's a hard one because that's heavyweight boxing. At the end of the day, they throw bombs and they're wearing small gloves. So even if you're a little bit above the other fighter's level, it's going to end like that, innit? We ain't going to get to find out how good you actually are. And it's a catch-22 with heavyweight boxing because until you see him and Joyce in the ring together, because we know Joyce obviously from his amateur background and a WSB, he's of a certain standard. For me, I used to work with a heavyweight boxer, Biggie, talented boxer, and he sparred Joe Joyce. And then from then, I see with Joe Joyce, he's a very educated fighter. I don't think he's exciting. I don't think he's the biggest puncher or he's you know what I mean, as a heavyweight, but I feel like he's educated. My boy Biggie, when he was in the ring, when he starts moving, dropping his shoulders, moving his head and that, his movements unreal for a heavyweight. And he was doing all that in the center of the ring to first round, trying to relax, trying to just ease off. The moment he kind of stepped back to have a breather and shake off, Joyce just put the pressure on him, started working. And then I realized he's very educated in what he does. And I feel like Dubois is at the as a fighter is the opposite end of the thing. He's not really in there to think about his work. He's not really in there to suss you out or say. He's in there to come in, will throw jabs, put that right hand behind it, left hook behind it, right uppercut behind it. He's in there to get in your face and get you the fuck out of there. And I feel like them two are a perfect matchup to see where each other's at in terms of the heavyweight rankings. I feel like it's hard to rate Dubois at the moment. It's hard to rate Joyce at the moment in terms of the bigger scheme of things. But I feel like, once you get them in there with each other,
explosive as well, you know, someone's getting knocked down.
Yeah, and it's an exciting fight. And I feel like, but winner and loser, the loser as well can come back from that fight.
Yeah,
they'll learn a massive, you know what I mean? They'll come, if they have that in them to overcome something like that, I feel like it will make them a better fighter.
Dubois is like 21, 22, so for him it's easy.
Yeah. Serious?
Yeah.
He's a problem. He's a problem.
With Joyce like 34.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's a bit harder for him.
Yeah.
That's why even now, he should be telling his management, yo
make the fight happen now.
Innit?
Yeah. It's now or never. Really, you don't want that fight in a year's time, 2 years' time.
Innit? So they need that fight right now, innit?
What are you saying on that one?
I think Dubois. Simply because Joyce, as a heavyweight, he doesn't mind getting hit. You're going to get hurt. Regardless of who it is. If you're fighting Dubois, okay, you've got him wobbled, maybe you've even dropped him or whatever, and you're applying pressure, and your chin's up in the air, and you're getting hit. His Joyce has a good chin, innit? Because he gets hit by heavyweights, and he'll smile at you. He'll get his teeth knocked out and still come smiling.
But and just them 10-ounce gloves, heavyweights gonna wear.
And then with Dubois hitting you, don't matter who you are, if Dubois hitting you clean in the chin, it's over. And I think Joyce will get the belt of Dubois, because obviously the amateur, you can't underestimate a silver gold medal, especially when you should have won. Even against Usyk, he was getting to Usyk as well, innit? I think he'll get to Dubois. I think he could outbox him, even if the slow motion punches or whatever, innit? But I think Dubois
comes out on top. I see a sparring video of what's the guy's name? He used to train with Ben Davison, heavyweight.
Fury.
Tom Little.
Oh, okay.
Is it Tom Little?
Yeah.
I like Tom Little. Shout out Tom Little. He come down to my gym, sparred with Big Mike Kingston and Biggie before as well. And he's actually a good fighter. I feel like he's the sort of fighter that on fight night, he doesn't show, I don't know, he's not in the ring, in the gym levels. I've seen him do bits. But on fight night, I feel like he doesn't actually box as well as he can do, and I feel like that's what stopped him from progressing. I feel like he's a good heavyweight and could go far with the ability that he has.
Did you see him against Dubois?
Tom Little?
Yeah.
They fight?
Yeah.
You're lying?
Nah.
What
I
happened?
said that before you got to your point.
What happened? Wait, what happened?
Dubois outboxed him.
Yeah?
It's the jab, because people forget Dubois is a big guy with long arms.
Let me get to the point I was getting to. Sorry, I see a sparring video. Have you seen it? Him and Joyce.
Nah.
Tom Little in Peacock Gym.
Peppered him.
Badded him up. Bruv, he's at, we'll get
I was
it.
going to say sparring Dubois, that's why I stopped you.
Sparring Joyce. Sparring
Yeah.
Joyce. I'm going to get the video up off camera, yeah? Bruv, he's got his hands down. He's walking him down. Yeah. Joyce is hitting him. He said, come on. Let's fight. Winging hooks. And he looked like the puncher. And he looked unfazed in terms of Joyce's punches.
Yeah, well,
he was standing there taking the punches and just winging hooks.
Yeah.
And I thought, if he can do that, I know, albeit 16-ounce gloves, a head guard and all that, but I thought, if he can do that, hands down, walk a man down, take your shots and load up. Not even like try and slip and counter a shot. He just taking your shot and loading up at will. If he can do that, then I thought, nah, Dubois is going through.
Yeah, Dubois, he outboxed Tom Little still.
Yeah.
People forget that jab, especially how hard it is. Even it could be slow, it could become. It's not actually slow, innit? It's predictable when it's slow. But every time it comes, it's so effective, innit? So,
I'm gonna watch that one. Still. I should know this stuff.
Yeah. So obviously they want to make the Joshua versus Fury fight, but by the time that fight would be able to happen, he will have the WBO mandatory, and Usyk said he's not stepping aside.
Yeah.
And Usyk's number 1, Dubois number 2. Frank Warren already said yes, they'll take the fight if it happens, if it's for the vacant belt.
For who?
Usyk versus Dubois.
A great fight. Yeah,
how do you see that going?
Both untested is heavyweight. You know what I mean?
Both heavyweights, yeah. But Usyk's different level, bro.
Different level, of course, but Dubois throws like a heavyweight. He has heavyweight power, and I feel like on paper, you feel like it's a silly fight for Dubois to take because of obviously the level that Usyk's been at. But it's heavyweight boxing, man. One punch is a game changer. Right hand, left hook. You know what I mean? You put two punches together in the heavyweight division. Right hand, left hook, or uppercut hook, or any two punches, clean punches. It's a game changer. No matter how much of a good boxer you are, which Usyk is obviously elite. He's elite. He's a special specimen for his weight and the way that he moves and boxes. Is special. But all that can get undone with two good punches.
My thing is, in boxing, at the elite level where there's so little differences in it, my thing is footwork, 9 times out of 10, it wins out. The reason I was so confident Floyd will beat Pacquiao, it ain't got nothing to do with anything technical. If you look at Pacquiao's footwork, in and out, he's probably undefeated.
Yeah.
But if you watch his fights, how often has he got a man walking from corner to corner to corner to corner? He don't know how to cut off the ring like that. So against Floyd, if you can't cut off the ring, it don't matter how you're going in and out. It's over.
Simple sidestep.
Yeah, that's
in and out goes one way. Someone just sidestepping you and giving you angles is a whole different dimension.
Over, so with Dubois versus Usyk, I just think the difference in footwork is just way too much to overcome.
Yeah. So you're saying this is one-sided fight?
Yeah, basically. I
You're
don't
not
see
giving Dubois the chance.
Maybe his jab.
7th round, right hand, left hook.
That's what puncher's chance. He's always got a puncher's chance, innit? But I think
I'll go with the underdog. I'm going Dubois. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Let's put it out there.
All right.
Should we put a bet on it?
I don't think you want to.
I don't want it. But it's an exciting fight. But this is for me. You know me as a boxing man. That's what I'm about. Throw them man in.
Throw them man every time, man.
Do you know what I mean? Because what's gonna happen? If they have the heart and desire that you need to be an elite champion, world champion boxer, then you will overcome that.
Especially at 21 for Dubois.
Come on. And the boxing lesson, just say 7, 8, 9 rounds. For instance, Dubois goes in there. It goes in there, 7, 8, 9 rounds, gets stopped later on because he's getting landed at will. He's struggling to keep out of it. But the lesson he's going to learn from that, the fighter that's going to make him, who else in the heavyweight division will be able to do to him what Usyk could potentially do? So if he's faced that, you ain't going to face a bigger threat in terms of boxing and so on. Make it happen.